I went through addictions. Like that was one of my way to deal with my ADHD back then, unknowingly. Oh, I can drink it away. I can smoke weed it away. I can chew tobacco and nicotine it away.
Work really hard away, right? It can be a workaholic. Yeah.
Totally. And so I was addicted to nicotine for probably 20 years, since high school to easily in my late 30s or so. And I found that community helped. There was a quit group that I had joined, typical, like, one day at a timing, right? Day one, you would get into this forum and you would say, day one, not going to chew today. And then you would go into the public chat and be like, my life sucks. I hate this. I hate my spouse. I hate everything. Am I an asshole or is she? And you're raging. It was just knowing that other people were going through the same slog at the same time helped big time.
Welcome to Successful with ADHD. I'm Brooke Schnittman. Let's get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Successful with ADHD. Today, I have Russ Jones, who he and I have been talking and ADHDing out on fun terms and ADHD nuances. So I'm excited for this podcast interview. Just a little bit about Russ. He's a productivity coach. He trained in integrative wellness and ADHD-specific coaching. He's committed to helping adults with ADHD get the tough stuff done. Love to know what the tough stuff, in your opinion, is. His personal journey, including a later in life ADHD diagnosis, join the club, fuels his passion for empowering the ADHD community by simplifying the chaos of our unique skull spaghetti, his words for brains, and offering easy to apply solutions. Russ hosts the ADHD Big Brother podcast and is the founder of ADHD Big Brother Community, an online platform where he and the members successfully give and get daily support and make progress on their goals, proving that community is one of the greatest tools to a well-managed and productive ADHD life. And I could not agree with that more. I know Dr. Hallowell says community is the vitamin C for ADHD. And literally that is where I feel like I accomplished a lot of managing my, at the time, undiagnosed ADHD was in a community of life coaching. So excited to have you here for the listen. Woohoo! We are talking about Russ's journey, and we're also going to talk about community because, again, we know how important community is for ADHD because we can't do ADHD alone. So Russ, you are a fellow late diagnosed ADHDer. Talk to me. When did you get diagnosed?
It was right around I'm 50 now, and it was right around age 40. I was going through a divorce. We weren't going through a divorce at the time. At the time, we were in counseling, and then the counselor was like, "Hey, I think you might want to check yourself out for ADHD." And I'm like, "You might want to help me work on our marriage because that's what we're doing here." And then I obviously figured it out, right? So,
yeah. Okay. So you got diagnosed at 40 as a male, and you were being listened to by and in this forum of a therapist, your ex-wife, and that through those conversations, the therapist realized you had ADHD. But I would imagine the 40 years wasn't like roses and butterflies, right?
That's that whole process that, all of us late in lifers go through, right? Where you go through like the grief and the relief, right? The grief that, oh man, if only I knew earlier, it would have changed all these shitty things in my life. And the relief of like, oh, now I have a name for it, right? It doesn't mean I'm lazy. It doesn't mean I'm a piece of shit. I'm not a loser. There's a name for this thing. That's what I went through. I mean, growing up, I grew up in a very small town. ADHD would have not a thing.
No one knew about it. Yeah.
No one knew about it. No, you're just a hyper kid. Your grades are, I was a straight A student, but this is the classic example, I would imagine, right? I'm a straight A student. I'm so much smarter than the classes, right? Because these are just high school classes in a small town. But I would do my homework and I just would forget to turn it in, or I would do my homework and I would be lost in my backpack. And I'd be like, it's gone. I don't have it. And then I'd find it 2 days later. So that was kind of my story. And the really thing that really bummed me out was I went to college for a year, and I blasted through the acting programs. And I was just like, that was A's and I'm the lead in the play. And it was just awesome. But everything else crumbled. I went from the structure of my home life and my parents, and you got to get good grades and those consequences, to I'm free and I can, I get to follow my whims and no scaffolding to my life. So I took that to mean my calling is to be an actor, clearly. And so then I was like, got to move to LA. Here we go. And so
that's where the actors go.
That's where it was that or New York. And I was too scared of New York. So
I'm going to be the next Richard Gere.
Yes. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. Dana Carvey was my big guy.
Oh my gosh. So funny. His voice impressions.
Oh God. Right. The greatest.
So you went to LA because you thought you were going to be the next Dana Carvey. Then what?
I did really good in acting for a number of years. I was really good in commercials. I played a very good office nerd. And so there was probably and I joined a sketch comedy troupe, me and a couple buddies. And so we toured and went around and did sketch comedy. So it is a passion of mine. I went through the Meisner Academy. It was like acting is I love the craft. Just there's no real purpose in it for me. Right. Or that's what I found. So I'm also diagnosed with depressive disorder. Other specified, which is like, I think the junk drawer of depression. Right. Yeah. They're like, he's fucking sad, but we put him in the junk drawer. Yeah.
Right.
Give
it's
him a pill
some sort
for
of
it.
depression here.
Yeah, totally. We'll get around to it in the next DSM.
At least you can laugh about it.
No, it is very
If you
brutal.
can't laugh, you're going to cry, right?
Yeah. You need gallows humor for this stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you got diagnosed with ADHD and other depressive disorder, other specified, and it was the therapist when you were in couples therapy that said, I think you have ADHD.
Yeah. And then I went and got tested and went to see a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, and got diagnosed, got medicine. And I can't take medicine. I've chosen not to take medicine because they work really great. And then they have these goddamn side effects. I'm the side effects guy. I'm the one that it happens to. It sucks.
I'm so sorry.
But you have to learn the tools anyways. You have to learn the strategies. And
exactly. So you're one of the 20% that can't take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would just have to be like, my focus is more important than having debilitating anxiety. Yeah. Or depressive, or like some of them gave me like a depressive episode at the end of the day.
Yeah,
like
thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd rather struggle.
I would rather not be depressed. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you just like quickly threw in there that the ADHD wasn't the reason you got divorced, but if you were to reflect back, and I know that's not what
you want me to tell you why we got divorced, Brooke? Okay, it was a slow death.
No. Sorry. I don't want you to get depressed, and I don't want you to like have to grieve that again.
No, we're like best friends. We have a great co-parenting relationship. Oh yeah,
amazing.
That's
really, amazing. But in all honesty, had you known about your ADHD and how to manage it back then, do you think anything would have been different in your marriage?
God, that is such a good question. Let's get Gail on the phone. Let's ask her.
Bestie.
Do you think if I got my shit together sooner, No, I don't think so. I think it would have helped me. Who knows? That's all speculation. Yeah. I can't speculate like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. So what happened after you got the diagnosis besides getting divorced, which had nothing to do with it?
Just new page in my life, Brooke. You're out. You're out.
You're in. You're out and you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
No wife, but I'll take the ADHD.
Right, exactly. I went through gosh, I'm really shitty with numbers and timelines and stuff like that. I remember there was a period where I lost a lot of, I sunk really hard, especially during COVID. I sank deeply and, it took away our smiles. Like we had to cover our faces so nobody could and nobody wanted to make eye contact in the stores or anything.
Oh, yeah.
God, I can even feel it a little bit right now. It crushed my soul. So that's when I kind of did some purpose work. I read a book that was really awesome that helped me find my purpose through, it's called Careergasm. Sarah Vermont, she's awesome. And one exercise in particular where you go through every shitty job you ever had in your life and you go, what was the thing that lit you up about it? What was the fun part? And so I've talked about this a number of times, but like that was a great exercise that I never thought of. And I noticed that it was anytime I was of service to somebody that I felt good. Like I was a bellman at a hotel. It's a shitty job, but I loved taking people's bags up. I was like talking to them. What are you guys doing here? You on vacation? All right. And I'm like hoisting their bags. Loved it. But everything else about it sucked. So I was like, okay, so being of service is a big deal. And even naturally during COVID, this was back when I had social media accounts. I was posting videos on Facebook of just like hope and making parody songs and just trying to I was just trying to be of service. Right. So that's kind of where the career track came. I ended up wanting to do a thing bigger, and it just happened to be that, ADHD, I was going to help people no matter what. That's why I got into integrative wellness. That's sort of more my whole body stuff is like, I like that. But everything I did was so ADHD specific, and I couldn't do YouTube. It was going to be, how are you going to market? I don't want to do Instagram. I don't want to do Facebook. How do I get my message out there? And I was like, I don't want the fucking problem of, how's my hair? How's my mustache is coiled wrong. And I need a flower back here. I know what it's like in the entertainment industry. I know the deal. And there's so much front loading work. I just want to get up and put my face in front of a microphone and talk. And I don't care what I look like. That to me was gold. So that's how I got into the podcast journey.
Amazing. And it seems like it's been going really well for you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, this is pretty good.
I know a great expert who's going to be coming on in just a few weeks.
Yeah. There's this person called Coaching with Brooke. She's coming out of the show. So
3C'ing it. I believe we're going to 3C it.
Oh, we're going to 3C it. Yes, we are. Yes.
Let's go,
in
bro.
the house.
All right.
So COVID sucked, right?
Yeah, sure
No
did.
smiles. People weren't looking at each other. Then what happens?
No, I started podcasting, and then I started coaching people on the side, really. And I had a job at UPS that that was my stability. That's a piece of this puzzle. It's like I quit doing everything, and I was like, I took a steady paycheck job at UPS just for stability. I just wanted to go to work and then get money. And that bit me in the face hard because I excelled, and then I got laid off, not merit-based, not seniority-based, just something happened and they were laying tons of people off, and it was like a name out of the hat. And I was like, oh my God, if I can't even have stability, then screw everything. I'm just going to do this full time.
Yeah.
And so I worked my ass off and got to a place where I can support myself and do it. So then coaching became a bigger deal, but beyond coaching one-on-one, if you listen to the show, community is bigger than all of that combined in my experience and in my mind. And I remembered I went through addictions. Like that was one of my way to deal with my ADHD back then, unknowingly. Oh, I can drink it away. I can smoke weed it away. I can chew tobacco and nicotine it away.
Work really hard away, right?
I can work really hard away.
Be a workaholic. Yeah.
Totally. And so I was addicted to nicotine for probably 20 years, since high school to easily in my 30s, late 30s or so. And I found that community helped. There was a quit group that I had joined where it's like typical, like, one day at a timing, right? Day one, you would get into this forum. It was like an old school V-Bulletin style forum. And you would get in and you would say, day one, not going to chew today. And then you would go into the public chat and be like, my life sucks. I hate this. I hate my spouse. I hate everything. Am I an asshole or is she? You know, and you're raging. And
I'm
you're
still not chewing.
Ah!
Hear me not chew.
Yeah, you're peeling your face off.
Should I do a patch instead?
Yeah. So it was just knowing that other people were going through the same slog at the same time helped big time.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring that into ADHD land because I went through coaches. I do therapy coaches. I love all of it. And I was always a appointment amnesiac, right? Where it would be like, I'd have a kick-ass appointment, forget everything, and then scramble an hour before the appointment, be like, I got to have something to show for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you feel shame, right? Because you didn't do it all week. And then or you just don't show up to the appointment because you're quote unquote sick, but it's really because you feel shame that you didn't do the thing. Yeah.
Totally.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It sucks, right? And so daily accountability to me is this missing component that can
100%.
complement great coaching. It can complement therapy. And so I created that model in a community, and it kicks ass. I mean, I'm in there doing it as well. And,
oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I would imagine it's really healing for you as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
And transformative. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, case in point, like we have people in there we do badges and awards. We gamify it. We make it fun. And we have people in there that have done like 300 days in a row of doing the thing weekends too. Like that's unheard of in ADHD.
Especially in the ADHD.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so funny because just if I could share for a second, when I first started coaching 7 years ago, I was working with students and adults. And one of my adult clients was like, I really love this one-on-one coaching thing, but I would love to hear what other people think about their struggles and how they've overcome some of it. So that was when I started 3C Activation, which we'll be talking about in your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And
Can't wait.
Haven't looked back on that because that, to your point, like even if, let's say, that accountability doesn't show up for a person that week, there's going to be someone else who's not earning their badges, right? So to say.
Yeah.
So they don't feel alone in that week off or canceling their appointment or podcast. Like I had to cancel the podcast last week, the power in community is so important. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the call, Dr. Hallowell talks about it as vitamin C. I mean, in COVID, people were so depressed because they weren't connected. Even parallel, they weren't connected. And I know with ADHD, it's hard to connect sometimes with social nuances and social anxiety. But in this Zoom support group that you have, just being there, not even having to necessarily talk or say anything, but just having other people who get you, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So tell me a little bit more, so I don't have to make any more assumptions about your group.
Quit
tell me a little bit
things about us.
I know, you know what happens when you assume. You said that someone's doing something for 300 days. Tell me about that.
Yeah, 300 days in a row. Stephanie is our greatest. So shout out to Stephanie if she's listening to this. She's like over 500 days. I have to keep making badges.
With ADHD, we know our energy levels are not 100% all the time, right? So to be consistent, it's not going to be 100% for 500 days. It's going to be persistent, right? So tell me what she was persistent with for over 500 days.
You're asking me to remember all 500 things she promised
Stephanie
to do?
Stephanie is
How
the
dare
person.
You?
Oh, it's 500 things that she said she was going to do, or is it the same thing for 500 days?
No. So that's a key differentiator thingy. It's every day you show up, right? You just show up and say, day one, what is the thing that you want to get done today? Some people put their whole freaking to-do list. I can't believe it. But some people will say, today I'm just showing up is my win today. Okay, cool. You're having a shitty day or whatever it is. Today I'm going to sit in my hammock. But what I like about that is that you're showing up and you're saying that you're going to do a thing and then you're doing it. And there's that, whatever the dopamine, blah,
intention,
blah, blah,
yeah.
whatever it is, you get a
dopamine
win out of it. And even more so than the win out of it is the failing. Like if you don't do the thing that you said you're going to do, the encouragement is talk about it. What happened? What got in the way? What could you do next time? It's all those coaching questions, right? And then you get to do that in a community aspect. So then you get ideas if you need help. You get other people going, oh, that happened to you. Oh, I'm going to try that thing that you're going to try to get on the other end of it. And then you go from failing, right? And getting right back into it and starting up again to what we normally do, which is we fail. And then we go lock up somewhere. We think the whole system doesn't work. We think we failed at life. We think I guess this doesn't work for me.
That's where the rejection sensitive dysphoria comes from. And then we burn out. We just shut down, and then we're underwhelmed. And then the whole cycle repeats itself again.
Totally. So how about instead of that to just be like, I didn't fucking do my laundry today and I said I was going to do it. Today I'm going to do it. So now you go from failing to instantly getting back on and trying again. Yeah. That to me is hopeful and encouraging. And it makes us go from getting to where we want to get to sooner rather than later. Oh, I get passionate about that.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess you're in the right position. I guess you're in the right profession.
I'm like,
thank you, Miss Vermont. So how many people are generally in these communities?
Right now ours, we have like around 60, maybe a little bit more.
60.
Yeah.
So how are people being accountable with their intentions? Are they writing it on like a shared document? How are they showing up?
It's sort of like, so we do it on the Circle platform, circle.so. So it's, there's multiple spaces that we have. So we have the daily accountability, which it's a new thread every day, right? Today's Monday, July 28th. And then everybody in the comment leaves what day 5, I'm going to do this. Like today I was like, I think I'm at day like 20 because I failed recently. I just forget sometimes. And okay, so day 1, whatever. It would be like today for me, it's a formal meditation. Ass on the cushion, not like a laying down guided meditation / nap. I'm talking about I'm going to sit and meditate. And then in that as well, I'll put any challenges that I'm currently doing. Because we do community challenges. Like you might show up and be like, guys, I want to not drink alcohol for 30 days. So I'm going to create a 30-day sobriety challenge. And that goes in your daily accountability. You'd be like, okay. And then the link to the sober challenge, day 2 of 30. Here we go.
So some people might join that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just you join whatever. And then you hit 30 days, get a badge. Feels
so
good.
Is it all on the platform or are you actually live streaming as well for these calls?
Yeah, these aren't calls. This is a community.
It's just on the platform. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what the live stuff is I do twice a month. I'll do like a monthly Zoom call where we talk about our goals. So we'll do, this week we'll do August. What did we get done in July? What do we want to get done in August? And then we do a mid-month check-in because it's like, hey, remember we made goals? Remember we were going to do stuff? Let's say, what are we going to do for the next half?
Yeah.
And then we have body doubling rooms that are open all the time. Audio on, audio off. And then we have experts similar to yourself that will come in and be like, I'm going to teach you guys how to, manage your time, or whatever. And so there are events, and then I do office hours just if you want to come and shoot the shit. If you have a coaching question you want or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like you provide a lot of value, but at the same time, the client has to show up for themselves. So it's not like you are, hand holding them along the way. There is this community. So if you're seeing that the majority of these 60 members are actually writing in the forum on Circle, that just goes to show how helpful it is for them because they're showing up for themselves. You're not making them do it.
No. And I do that is one as a community facilitator, I guess, that's one of those things that you're constantly thinking about I know our engagement is higher than most per the percentage, but it's still less than what you would want. You'd be like 60 people are paying to be here. I want 60 people showing up. That's not the way it is. Some people show up just for the event replays, just for the resources. Some people will lurk for a few months and then be like, I'm ready to start. So my role, I think my goal is I tried to make onboarding as easy as possible, just a bunch of easy videos. And then I do a free coaching call at the end. If they want it to be like, I can help you find the journey in the community.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where might you go with your particular struggles, right?
Right. Right. What would you say the biggest impact that you have seen from start to finish on someone like Stephanie or someone else?
Oh man, we have a space called Skull Spaghetti Master Speeches. So I initially did this thing to be like, if you make it 100 days, you're a Skull Spaghetti Master. And then we do like badges at 7 days. You're like a noodler, then you're a brain boiler. It's all pasta related. And then
Are you Italian?
No.
Okay.
I just
like pasta?
Skull spaghetti was my way of talking about the brain because I don't,
It's
I'm
a
like
great visual.
I don't like talking sciencey stuff. I'm like, it doesn't, I can't hold it and touch it.
Yeah.
So it's all skull spaghetti to me. But those are the people that in their master speeches, that will talk about the transformation. I don't know that I can speak to something specific without going in and looking at it. I can put you on hold and do it.
No. That's okay. It's okay.
Like something that Stephanie did recently, which was she had this lilac bush that she had to get rid of in her yard, and she was never going to do it because it's like a 20-hour project. She didn't have a big piece of equipment. She was going to have to dig out the whole thing. And so I remember I'll be in a body doubling session with her, and it's like audio on. And so I'm doing some decluttering or something, and she's bitching about like what a pain in the ass it is to dig out this lilac bush. That's not something that would have happened.
Yeah.
She would say that's probably something that wouldn't happen on her own, where she's just like, what are you going to do today? I'm going to do the lilac bush. And so I created a challenge in the community as well, which was like a long-term achiever. And I was like, okay, if you want to do this challenge, then you're putting your day streak on the line for a long-term goal. So it was a way for us to, like, I keep my goals right here. They're right here. If you can see them, there they are. Because we're all great at making goals. Be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then literally we forget an hour later. Like, okay, so every day we have to put something on our daily accountability that moves our monthly goal forward.
Yeah.
And so that was her lilac bush.
It helps with object permanence, seeing the goal, right?
Yes.
And then there's the accountability of speaking it out there to this community of 60 plus people with coaches. And then there's the buy-in and the purpose by showing up every day. I know, like I asked you that question because I've seen personally the impact of group coaching. When I was in a group being coached, I showed up for myself for the first time. I knew my strengths, my weaknesses. I was able to execute things for a long period of time. And then from starting 3C activation, like some of the feedback was, I feel less alone. I feel like there's hope.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that all was part of the community base. Right. So I've seen personally, professionally, firsthand what community can do for people who feel so alone and feel like they have to mask for so long, feel like they're less than, and they're in this deficit model rather than reframing things into a strength base and seeing that they actually are capable of greatness if they have purpose and accountability. And accountability is such a big word.
Totally. And it's a big deal. Yeah. And some of these things, like, I don't know that you see this out there too much. The community is great for the emotional support of it all. Like, but I find that to be intrinsic. I find that to be, you get a room of ADHD people together, they automatically give a shit about each other. They automatically care and they get it. I'm like, but I'm like, what? But, and now what? How are we going to do the laundry?
Exactly. How are you going to gain momentum when you have tasks that are low motivation or no motivation and you have no intrinsic motivation, right? You need extrinsic motivation. You need external accountability. You need to. And I'm sure you help them break things down into really small steps too, because you're not going to just do the laundry. The laundry is like 20 steps.
I don't do it. They do it.
They're not going to just do the laundry. No, I know, but it's not going to just be the laundry. It's like, well, where's the first thing, right? Those questions that you ask, what's that first step?
Yeah, like easy point of entry to the thing. Yeah.
Right. And then doing those small actions over time, 60 days, whatever it is, then that builds that momentum, that builds the confidence, and that gives them actually the motivation, even though they weren't intrinsically motivated to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find that's like that stuff, it changes every day. Like you can have the motivation one day and not have it the next day. And, that's why I like the conversation.
But the key is to just show up, right?
Yeah.
Just to show up, be persistent, and
be vulnerable.
And do something, even if you're at 40% capacity, right? Like you might not do the thing to 100% that you told the group that you're going to do, but you're going to do something. And that something might just be showing up, and just showing up is taking action and being accountable to move the needle forward to get to that stage of confidence.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. In our particular daily accountability group, it's you kind of make the rules for yourself. So you can, like, some people are like, they want their whole schedule on there, and some people don't. And some people, this is one thing that we learned as we went. Some people would be like, I'm going to do this thing. And then they wouldn't. And you'd be like, day zero. I'm like, okay, what if instead of you did that thing, you did a work session toward that thing? You go, I'm going to put 30 minutes towards that thing. And I remember one time, I must have been in a depressive episode or something, but I could not make my GD bed. And I just wanted to be like, that's what I want to do. And one of the guys in the community, I was like, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I'm just going to work on cleaning my bedroom for 5 minutes. And I think it was Dave, one of our community members, was like, hey, set the timer for 2 minutes. I've done that. And I was like, yes, 2 minutes. Okay. But I did
just 2 minutes.
I can make my bed in a minute and a half. Come to find out, but it feels like it's like an endless hell type of an eternity. Yeah, when you're in a low mood.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like if as a group, whether it be setting the timer for 2 minutes or just saying, what's that first step, or what can you do for yourself right now, right? That is getting the ball going, and perhaps you continue even if you have a low energy day. That's wonderful.
You know what I think about? Like, this was an analogy that I had way back in the early days, which was it's like an inverted mountain. Most of the normies of the world, they think of goals as like a climb up a mountain. You got to work hard, adversity, blood, sweat, tears. Oh, it hurts. That's how you earned it, and blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the top and look how great I am. And I'm like, that doesn't work for an ADHDer. We're like, oh God, that's so high. Oh my God, I'm going to need to take a couple classes, and I'll get some ropes. I'll buy some harnesses. And we don't do anything. I'm like, but if you start at the top.
Exactly.
If you start at the top and you just nudge yourself forward, the goal is at the bottom of the hill. And all you need is like a little nudge, and you roll to your goal. You don't have to know where it's at, but you're just rolling toward it. I think it's like a magical visual to me of how goals can be achieved through an ADHD lens, and not like the way the normies do it.
Really powerful. I love that.
Totally. Yeah.
Someone can helicopter you up or lift you up to the top of that mountain. So you've already done that hard part. You're there now. Now
you exist at square one. Yeah. It's just a dumb metaphor. You start at the top, right? It's a metaphor no matter how you look at it. So just imagine that you begin your life journey at the top of a mountain, and down below the cloud line, wherever it is. And then you hit trees, but you keep rolling.
Yeah. And you get there.
Eventually.
In a noodly brain way. But you get there.
Correct.
Spaghetti spiral way. However you say it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why literally on my book, like the arrow that goes up is like
squiggly.
Yeah. Squigglies. Lots of squiggly. There you go. Squiggly spaghetti.
Yeah.
So Russ, what would you leave? I always love to leave the audience with like one big takeaway. What is one thing that you want them to take away from today's call?
Takeaway? Well, the big takeaway is community is everything. Join a community. Doesn't have to be mine. Needs to be a community that gets you. Just that's it. But ultimately, I think the biggest, and this might be coming from my double diagnosis, but be cool with yourself. There's so much chatter about how to love yourself and things like that. And I struggle with that in the mirror. And so I'm like, I could say that all day long and I would never believe it. I'd be like, you're so full of shit. You do not. But I can be cool with myself. I can treat myself like a roommate that has agreed to pay the rent. And I'm like, okay, he can stay. And we're going to do this together. So even when I'm not cool with myself, I can be cool with the fact that I'm not cool with myself. It just makes things so much easier. And I think that's important.
Yeah. What I love about what you just said too, is you're talking to yourself in third person, which is so helpful when you have those hard days. Okay, we're just going to take a couple of steps to the front door. Okay, Russ, we're just going to put our shoes on, right? So it depersonalizes the situation and takes away the shame from yourself.
Totally. Yeah, that makes good sense. Yeah.
And to your point about community, for anyone who learns that they have ADHD, before you know what you want to do, coaching, therapy, whatever, yes, find that community that gets you so you can understand how you operate and reduce the shame. I love that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I would, like therapy and coaching are awesome. I think those are like huge. Therapy, especially right after a whole life of feeling like the self-loathing and the what's going on with me.
Everyone with ADHD will need some restorative type of work on them, right? And for me, I received therapy my whole life. I had anxiety and dysthymia. For unmanaged ADHD, bullying, all this stuff. But at the same time, like, I don't think I was ready to do the work and show up. So when I received coaching, that's where I felt for the first time, like I can execute. And that was the missing piece for me. I felt like I was less than, like I couldn't do, even though on the outside I looked good. Like I didn't feel like I could do it on the inside. But then after I got that momentum, that confidence and motivation, then I did the therapy because then I was ready to like dig deeper about myself.
Super interesting.
So it was kind of opposite for me. Like I wasn't ready to go back. I was only ready to go forward.
Man, that's a good, I wonder if I would have had a better experience in therapy. I had great therapies, but most of it was pre-diagnosis. So doing the work was maybe a little bit harder for me. And that would be rad to be like, to have some skills and to be able to execute on the homework and on the, that's genius. That's great.
But that's what you're doing in your community. You are giving the platform for people to show up and do the thing, right? And feel more than rather than less than. And then, it's up to them on where they want to take it from there. But that's what you're providing in this community. Yeah.
I like that. The idea that doing things gives us data points of self-worth, right? It helps us prove to our brain, right? I said I was going to do it. Look, brain, I did it. And it's like you keep getting those data points. So the byproduct of that might be less self-loathing, more self-care, self-loving, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, Russ, thank you so much for coming on Successful with ADHD. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me. This is fun. It's fun chatting it up with you, Brooke.
It is. Chat.
It's ADHDBigBrother.com. That's where everything exists. It's on all the podcast platforms, ADHD Big Brother. I'm there. Awesome. I'm around. I'm findable. Seek ye out. Seek me and ye shall find me. They're like, I don't want to.
People will know where you are and they will find you. All right. Well, we'll be chatting soon on Big Brother. Thank you again for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. It's fun.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Successful with ADHD. I hope it helps you on your journey. And if you need any additional support for you or a loved one with ADHD, feel free to reach out to us at coachingwithbrooke.com and all social media platforms at Coaching with Brooke. And remember, it's Brooke with an E. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.